Okay, once your deck is cut out, it's now time to use the power sander. The power sanders have discs and belts. They both turn at the same time. Two people may work on one sander as long as you're not getting in each other's way. Remember, before you use a sander, you have to have permission from me. Open this valve that's connected to your machine. Close the valves that aren't being used. Right there. Thank you. And turn on the... When you use the disc sander, you only sand on the left side, never the right side. And that's because it spins in a counterclockwise motion. And anything that touches the right side is going to want to be carried upwards towards the ceiling. Anything that's sanded on the left side is going to want to be carried down against the table. And that's much safer than moving up. So only the left side of the disc. The disc sander is made for sanding a rounded edge. So it's perfect for the rounded ends of your skate deck. And what you want to do is, with both sanders, you want to keep your disc moving. Try not to hold it in one spot and grind it down, because then you'll have an uneven finish. So first we're going to use the disc sander on the rounded parts, and then we'll use the belt sander. Then we'll use the belt sander for the long straight edges. Okay. The sure forms are stored here at the tool station. The sure forms are stored right here. These are hand tools that you'll use to shave off the sharp corners of your deck. And you see the bottom looks like a cheese grater. If you've ever grated cheese at home in your kitchen, it's the same type of thing, except it's to be used on wood. This is the front, and this is the back. So you hold it in the palm of your hand like this. Okay, the wood vices are what you're going to use to put your deck in while you work on the beveled edge. The vices are designed so that you pull them out and push them in. So get the handle to the spot where you can pull it. Place your deck inside. Make sure there's no nails or metal poking out of the wood of the jaws of the clamp, or it will dent your deck. So go ahead and put that in the vise. Okay, next we take our sure form, place it on the top of your edge. This is a 0-degree angle. Remember, we want a 45-degree angle on the edge, so this is 0 degrees. This would be 90 degrees, and this would be 45 degrees. So you want a 45-degree angle along the edge. And you're going to push it along until you shave off these little ribbons of wood. You see those little ribbons of wood? You want to shave that off until you have a 45-degree angle instead of a sharp corner on the edges of your deck. You do the tops, and you'll do the bottoms as well. See that right there? And when it looks like it's about 1/8 of an inch wide, can you get up really close on that, Jack? When it looks like the bevel is 1/8 of an inch thick or wide, then you're done. But that needs to be all sides of your deck needs to have 1/8 of an inch bevel. Now for the curved parts, now to bevel the rounded ends of your board, the Sureform is going to be very difficult to use if you just try to go at it straight, like this. But if you do one simple change, it'll be quite easy, and that is to turn the Sureform at an angle like this and use both hands to scrape off the sharp corners. So just twist and turn the Sureform until it feels like you're actually shaving off the corners, like it's supposed to. So don't go at it straight like you do the other sides. Twist and turn until you get a good angle. And use both hands.
And you'll be doing that on the top and the bottom part here. So you repeat it over here.
And I'm not really cutting off much, so I'm going to keep turning the Sureform until it gets to a good spot. And you can scrape off the sharp corner. So you should be getting these little ribbons of wood, like that, and that's the corners. And this is how you create a bevel. When I'm done with that, I need to take that device and flip it around and do the other side. And again, when your bevel's about 1/4 of an inch thick, then you're done and you can move on to the hand sanding step. Bevel is formed and you've had it approved. The next step is to sand the edges, and you're going to sand it until it feels as smooth as glass all around all sides of your deck. The edges have to be as smooth as glass. Now how do you get it that way? You'll start off using 80 grit sandpaper. 80 is the coarsest paper that we have. The lower the number, the coarser or rougher the paper is. Start off with 80 and sand all around the edges by hand, around the edges of your deck. Then take a sanding block like this one. You can slip one end of the paper in one side, put it on these little nail tips, close it down, stick the other end of the paper in this side, put it on the little nail tip spikes in there, pinch it down, and sand the edges flat. Then take the 80 grit paper and curl it around the board. After you've done 80 grit, move up to 120 grit. Do the exact same thing. Then when you're done with that, move to 220 grit. 220 is the smoothest or finest paper that we have for wood.
Hang on. You just want to see it.
God.
Your skateboard will look its best if you take it home and spray paint it. Unfortunately, we can't bring spray paint to school or use it at school, so you'll have to do this at home. Make sure it's done outside or in a well-ventilated area. Here's a quick example. If you do choose to paint at school, that's great, and here's how you can do it.
Can I please have some light blue and a large paintbrush?
Okie dokie. Well, here's this orange pen. Take a step and when you're done, sign up on it.
Use a little bit of paint at a time. Don't use a ton of paint, and please clean up after yourself. There are plastic trays by the sink that you can use to pour a little bit of paint in. Try not to get paint on the workbenches or the tabletops, and wash your brushes out thoroughly once you are done. Please keep your brushes clean, because if paint dries on them, they'll be ruined and we'll have to throw them away. This student used a stencil to trace a skull onto his board, and now he's painting inside the stencil. Before that, he applied a black background. So I recommend that as well. Apply a solid color background, let it dry, and then you can apply a design on top of the background color.
To wash out your brush, find this sink in the back of the workshop. Turn the water on full blast. Hold the bristles against the bottom of the sink. Gently mash it down against the bottom of the sink underneath the water flow. Turn it and twist it so that all the bristles are exposed to the water. This is really the only way to get all the paint out of the brush. Now again, you're gently mashing. Don't use too much force. When you think it's clean, rub it against the palm of your hand and see if any color comes off. If it comes off clear, then you're done. If there's color, keep washing. Return it to the checkout counter, and the teacher assistants will do the same thing. They will also check to see if you got all of the paint thoroughly washed out. If you didn't, you'll be sent back to clean it again.
Okay, do not drill your truck holes yet. Marking them. Don't even bother marking them on your deck like this person has done, because you want to wait until you actually have trucks. The holes on your trucks that you eventually purchase or get, or that you already have at home, they may be a different size than the truck holes on your pattern sheet. So do not use the truck holes on the pattern sheet as your truck holes. Wait until you actually have trucks, bring those trucks into class, and use that to place your truck hole.